How's it going, guys? We're back on the trail and we're looking to do some exploring. Hope you can hear me crystal clear. Leave a thumbs up and a like if you can. We've got a lot lined up today. We're gonna be making quite the journey. There's a couple sites I'd like to visit and structures, all of which are abandoned and hold a lot of history. So we're gonna go to some prominent areas and I'm excited to have you join me. Welcome to another episode, and this is Mountain West Productions. So we've made it to a small town of industry named Silver Star. There's not much here, but it did support a mining community that is now abandoned. We're gonna go visit. It's a one-stop town. There's a small store and a bar, and the sheriff sits on the corner. It's pretty picturesque and cool. It looks like this is all mining stuff from a later date. Giant compression wheels. Look at the old cars back there. See them? Right back there. Some old vehicles. Some cool stuff back here. Let's get a better look at the town. As you can tell, not much happens here anymore, but Silver Star is a historic town and it's hanging on to its roots. And this guy over here has all this stuff stored and all this history we're going to be visiting today. So I thought it'd be interesting to stop through and see what a town would look like if it survived the mining boom, the frontier settlements. This is one of the last great towns still around, and it's hanging on outside this little mountain valley. So pretty cool stuff. Let's head up the road. So we've made it to a very historic claim, something well intact and just stunning. A lot of days this history is getting wiped out, and we're here to document that and provide some of the backstory. I'm really excited to be here. It's gorgeous, it's well kept. I ran into a local geologist, and it still appears there's some rich ore in the ground. He's not too far from here. So he had a meeting in town to go to, the town of Silver Star. But we're gonna explore this thing and I'm gonna pull up all the history behind it. And I'm excited to share this journey. I'll see you guys on the trail. Thanks for joining us. A gold-bearing claim located outside the city of Silver Star was discovered in the late 1860s. By 1881, the mine had produced $500,000 while mining down less than 200 feet. The Broadway Gold Mining Company of London, England, got word of the rich land and bought the property from local homesteaders turned miners. As many accounts note, grasshoppers had destroyed local crops for years. forcing the early settlers of Montana to look elsewhere for local opportunity that proved much more lucrative, in fact, by historical account. The Broadway Gold Mining Company, shortly after purchase of the claim, built a 40-stamp mill on the banks of the Jefferson River, of which we just visited, as Silver Star sits just on the banks of the Jefferson River. I unfortunately could not locate the ruins or foundation of the old stamp mill when we stopped in Silver Star just moments before. A 2-mile tramway was next implemented by Broadway Mining Company to deliver the ore to the Jefferson stamp mill from the Broadway mine. The same road we traveled up, in fact, hosted a grand tram system operating day and night. However, this extraction process would prove to be a failure, and the mill would shut down. The cost of logistics did not grant such an intricate operation. The mine would open up again, however, under the watchful eye of one of its original owners, F.R. Merck. Around the 1900s, during F.R. Merck's reign, the mine was credited with production of over $1 million. 100 to 120 tons of ore per day were milled by 1949, due to F.R. Merck's innovation in streamlining. The main ore chute of the mine dips 30 feet for the first 500 feet, then another 65 foot for the next 150 foot. The width of the shafts range from a claustrophobic matter of a few feet to 200 feet or more, all while following irregular quartz veins containing concentrates of gold ore. The deepest level obtained while chasing the gold deposits of the Broadway claim is close to 650 feet. The shaft is viewable still to the day. Shipping ore and milled ore, of which was said to differ slightly, as low-grade surface ore was present through much of the mine's operating days, even under F.R. Merck's reign. The site is remarkable in condition and historical value, given it's centuries old. So, we're coming up to the old mill, and you just look at it. Look at this stuff. Just cool. Just cool. This is really neat, and we're gonna kind of explore it, but you look at everything. Look at these old samples. 31. 1931. You don't find stuff like this. You find a lot of remains and shells, but this is a service to the mining community and people who are interested as well. Look at this lumber, solid. You don't see that today either. Kind of want to just take a look back here. Old Union. Wow. Just gorgeous. Look at that. So this claim dates back to the turn of the century here. And it was primarily a gold claim. Look at that, baby. We gotta get in that other side. This stuff is dangerous. But look at some of all this stuff around. Old bottle. Huh. Budweiser was the drink of choice here. Too cool. Too cool. Let's go to that backside. There's a lot of industry here that offers us some really cool tall tales. Literally a trip back in time. Too cool. Really corroded. I like it too when other explorers leave some of their finds just to like show you what they came across. The weight of this thing, it's solid. It's like true cast. There's a plank above us. Maybe the ore cart would travel that. But the further we get into this, there's electricity, there's gas. So they were probably using some sort of gas for a combustion engine. Electricity brackets. There's birds up here. Probably a nest. I'd like to get up in that thing. It's probably not too stable, but really get around here. The lumber still has the branch knots from trees over there. That old cart. Oh, maybe it's not birds. I think it's just rattling sheet metal I'm hearing. Yeah. All the raw ore would come down into this. And it'd go down a cart. So I thought they mined further down the hill, but it appears they mined up the hill because they wouldn't. But I mean, it could be the staging area where they loaded it. Wow. It's too cool. I don't think I'm gonna walk that whole span, but I will find another point to access that area. Got like a homestead down there. Looks like a worker's cabin. There the head frame is. So the shaft is over there. That wind's howling. Look at this. Look at the rotunda ceiling. This place is super cool. This is where they'd process all the ore as well. So this is a giant crusher. This thing would spin around. The friction would cause it to crush the rock into a fine, fine dust, and then they'd extract the gold. It's really gorgeous. Look at this. It's all these little nooks and crannies. You can tell the chemical with whatever was leached is still in the ground. So we're making our way back to like the inner workings, the powerhouse of the mine. After exploring that, I'm still gonna go up in there, but I'm just looking around at everything. And the wind is howling, so sorry if you guys are picking that up. Look at that. All assay samples. Interesting stuff. Core samples. More. Look at the consistency of these cores as well. They're like hunks of concrete. It's some tough earth. It's insane to think that you can live your whole life pulling gold out from the earth as a job. But you're pulling this out, searching for gold veins or high concentrations of gold. Yeah, this was an assay office. That's exactly what this was. There's a heat in here and everything. Look at the gas line. Exhaust. Big, beautiful head frame. Still standing. It's quite warm out today, but that breeze feels good. Really good. Look at this shaft. It's covered up now, but holy cow. It's vertical. I don't know if you can see in it. That's a deep shaft, really deep. This motor would run it. This head frame would winch all the carts up and out. I wonder where the portal's at though. I don't think people would go down like that. Look at this, more core samples. Holy cow, there's no end. There has to be rich deposits here. There definitely has to be. That's a lot of work just for a sample. Look at this. I always say too, mining goes hand in hand with beauty. Absolutely. For some reason on all these claims, they are situated in the most gorgeous country. Look at that old powerhouse. Really special. This is the motor house, I'm assuming. Some of this might have got repurposed. Or it could be that guy down the road that we stopped and all that stuff was out there. I'm sure he has roots at this mine. But look at this. Winch cable's still running. Or still there, not running, sorry. And the heater. Beautiful. Really stunning. I'm gonna get some great pictures as well. If you guys are into still frames, I take a lot and add them to Instagram. My Instagram's in my bio, so. This old motor. Spark plug's still in it. Just chucked. Mining's such a strange thought too, just the dilemma. How much money you put into it. And then when it goes bust, like this served its purpose, it paid for itself and it's just left, you know. And because mining's in such rough country most of the time, or places that there aren't a large population and mountainous areas that the veins followed, it costs more to remove this than to actually, you know, salvage it or save it. Really special. I'm gonna snag some pictures and we'll go down to these homesteads next. We'll check those bad boys out. Well, making our way down to the old homestead. Or really, it's probably the foreman's house or the owner's house. It's probably started as like just a small mom and pop op. But nonetheless, you can tell it was highly successful. This floor is really bad. This is a beauty. That's crazy. That's super old, and the wood's still got this fine texture to it, like a worked texture, a sanded texture. Like this is an add-on, or this is probably just homemade, you know, real deal craftsmanship. I wonder what that was. Something in it. Nails. Ooh, this floor is no good. It's insane to think too, the memories, the family that lived here, what was going on. Because where we're at's not that developed, and back then it probably wasn't even close to being what it is now. This is really beautiful. Really cool bit of history. Spent quite a while here just examining everything, and it's just stunning. It's stunning and it's mesmerizing when you look at this. The hopes, the dreams, the lifestyle, you know. There isn't an industry that evokes the same emotion or thoughts. You're literally digging in the ground, searching for precious metals, and you're basing it off some scientific ability, but also a big chunk faith. Miners are some of the hardest working, hardiest people you'll meet. And I've had the pleasure of meeting a few, and great company when they get older and settle down, that is. But yeah, we're gonna go down the road, see what else we can't run into, and if there isn't much to report, I'll say my farewell. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Leave a comment, give a thumbs up. Let me know what you think. It's fun to share this stuff, and it's fun to kind of catalog history, provide you guys with something to think about and kind of view or hark back to. So thank you, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.